Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Valorant has released on console, so I'm going to make a quick guide to catch you console players up to speed in the world of Valorant. Note, this game is in closed beta right now, and at this point in recording there isn't a set release date yet, but anyways, let's get on to the video. So Valorant is a 5v5 shooter similar to a cross between Overwatch and CSGO, as you have the game style of CSGO and the abilities and art style of Overwatch. In Valorant there are 13 rounds, and after the first 12 rounds you switch sides. The attacker's main objective is to plant the spike, which is the bomb, on any sides of the map. Most maps only have two sites, A and B, but there are some maps with C as well. To win the round as an attacker, you need to plant and make sure the spike goes off, or kill the opposing team. Remember, if you don't plant the spike or kill every opponent before the time runs out, you'll lose that round. Side note, it takes exactly 4 seconds to plant the spike and 10 to defuse it. Also, in this game, while defusing it, if you get to 5 seconds, which is half the time, it will stay at halfway, so it won't reset. At this point, if you need to get off of it, the spike, and kill the last player, it will be at the halfway point. The defender's main goal is to stop the attackers from planting the spike and defusing it if they do. Just like the attackers, if the defenders kill the attackers, defenders will win the round. Just a quick note, a match can take around 30 to 45 minutes to complete, so keep that in mind before queuing in, because Valorant doesn't have much leniency for people leaving mid-games, and you will get suspended for long periods of time. If you don't have time to play a full match, you can always play Swift Play, which is a shorter version of the normal mode. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about aiming. Aiming in this game is a bit different, as you cannot really move while shooting because it greatly reduces your accuracy. In this game, you need to stop and shoot to have precise shots. Practice stopping and shooting in a deathmatch before you go into the game just to get the muscle memory down. Eventually, when you are advancing, you can learn how to strafe in between shots without affecting your aim and making yourself hard to hit, but this skill can be a bit tricky. You want to be careful on what guns you full spray, because some weapons like the Sheriff and Vandal have more of a kick if you continuously tap or hold it. If you're spraying, try to remember to pull down so at least the shots are more controlled. The rule of thumb is Vandals, you should tap and burst, and Phantom, you should burst/spray. Of course, you could spray with a Vandal, but like I said before, it's a lot harder to control because it has more recoil. Also, you can crouch to control recoil. However, I would be careful, because if you are crouching in a fight, you are basically tied to that 1v1 and you're like fully committed. So now let's get on to abilities. There are 4 major character roles in Valorant: Duelist, Sentinel, Initiator, and Controller. Each class has a specific role and usage in fights. For example, a control player uses his smokes to block enemies' line of sight, giving him more cover to push onto a site. Duelists use their unique kit to blind or flash their opponents to get a pick they need for the team. Sentinels are like trappers, having tech to watch like flanks or secure a site, and initiators use their gadgets to gather intel about the enemy's position, giving you the upper hand in a fight. Now, once you lock in a character role at the beginning of the match, you are done. You cannot switch for the entire rest of the match. You will have them on defense and offense, and obviously some characters are stronger on offense and defense, and some teams compositions are more defense sided or attacker sided, so remember that. Find a character that greatly benefits your team and fits your playstyle, and don't be afraid to branch out and learn other characters. This will be important in the competitive scene. I will do a more in-depth guide on specific character abilities in another video, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. Economy. Economy in this game is very important, as you don't want to buy everything you can every single round. That's called a forced buy. For example, if you start round 1 as a defender and you only have 800 credits, let's say you're Phoenix, a duelist. You have your 800 credits and you bought the Sheriff. Just because you spent 800, by the way, doesn't mean it's a bad idea. The first round, you can buy whatever your playstyle fits. You can buy a flash, ghost, doesn't matter. The round starts and your team gets wiped. In this instance, you do not want to spend all your money in the second round to buy everything and just forcing. What you want to do is have your team save the credits for the next round. The enemy team got way more than you because they won the first round, and they will most likely roll you guys again if you try and force. At this point, just make sure your minimum for your next round is about 4,400. As you can see it in the buy menu, your minimum. As long as it's over this, you could buy some type of weapon or shield to try and still win the save round. If you don't have the money, don't stress. Use a class pistol and no shield and try to win anyway. Normally, people are more arrogant and aggressive when they know that you're on a save round, which can lead them to overextending and making mistakes. Now, let's say in that scenario you won the first round instead of losing. At this point, most of the time, you force on the second round and you'll have like a Spectre full shield and just completely mowing down the other team. So you got 2 rounds off the bat. It is 2-0 right now. You have Spectre full shield. You're chilling. Now in the third round, you know the other team is saved, so they have Vandals and Phantoms. But it's still very possible for you to win this round if you And if you do, it almost guarantees a 4-0 start because they'll have to save again after winning the 3-0. If this happens to you, keep your head on straight and don't give up. Your team might be better on offense. You guys could have got unlucky. It's okay. It happens 4-0 start. But it does signify a strong beginning, so that helps. Communication in Valorant is a key to winning games and improving team coordination. Giving out calls and marks to help out your team increase the likelihood of you actually winning the match. To learn exact callouts, look at the map and memorize each main locations. For example, like C long, A long, garage, etc. Also, sound cues in the game are extremely important. For example, you can tell the difference of a sound of a spike, just tapping the spike, and if it's on half.
Got a defuse. Oh, it's gonna be close.
Listen at the sound difference here when my opponent was at the top of mid-cat to when he jumps down and lands in the grass. Crosshair and sensitivity. I know a lot of you COD players love high sensitivity, but in this game it's a lot easier to stay head level and move properly with lower sensitivity. The movement isn't very fast in this game, with the exception of some character abilities like Jet and Raze. So it's not really hard to track people, and it's easier to do with slower sense because the micro movements really could screw you up if you're on high sense. Make sure you find a crosshair to your liking as well, because that really helps. But yeah, how to get better overall? The best way in my opinion is to start off doing team deathmatch. There you get a bit familiar with abilities and aim. In team deathmatch there are waves which change the type of gun you have, similar to a gun game, except it's on a time scale, not really a kill scale. Each wave boosts the caliber of the weapons and you can select which ones you want. But if you want to focus specifically on aim, I would recommend playing regular deathmatch as there's no teams or utility. So it's good to do that for warming up. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this simple and quick guide on Valorant for you console players. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and liking the video. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have more videos of Valorant coming out soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll respond to you guys. But yeah guys, I'll catch you on the next one.